Yeah, it would be a best of 5. So we got a bit of a different map rotation here. Since best of 5, we're starting out on some control. The usual Li Jiang, Nepal, Ilios, which usually we see Li Jiang, but Ilios has been chosen all the time. Well, maybe we'll see a different peck here.
Maybe everyone thirsts for the map knockoffs as much as we do.
Maybe.
Gives them a chance to change up the comps a bit, you know? Asking for owl sub.
There's talking about substitutions and how that will work. Alrighty then. Well, Lemons will choose the map. Did I copy pasta it? Yes, I did.
Look at all those Dallas Fuel fans.
Unfortunate 1 in 5 currently in the standings. Feels bad.
Unfortunate. I mean, clearly there's a better Texas team, but can't fault people for bad taste.
Everyone was so hopeful for them. I feel like early on when they first announced teams, I was like, "Oh my god, it's the dream meme team," because it's like a lot of streamers and personalities that seem,
It's like
But
two. It's Siegel and it's XQC, and XQC has been benched for the next 2 weeks.
benched.
And Siegel's doing really well for his team, but he's on Junkrat, and
He's doing. I saw him
that may
play
not last
Hanzo
that much
on
longer.
Junkertown.
I saw him do that once, but they lost that one. So
Yeah.
no, they won.
Oh,
I think they won that Junkertown, but they lost that set. And the set is really what matters, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Because people were speculating on forums and Reddit and things like that Siegel isn't. He's not really a amazing, super awesome Genji as in compared to other Owl Genjis. So that's why he's kind of a more flex player currently.
Yeah, I've seen his Genji play a bit on his stream. He aims really well, but that's all that I really noticed. He's hyped up a lot too, but he's also a big streamer, and that's something that comes along with that. He's definitely better than me, and I'm not knocking him for being not good, but I didn't really notice anything more than his aim.
All right. Starting in 5, Li Jiang Tower to get things going. Teams discussing whether or not to do no mercy strats. We've had that before, where teams will do a gentleman's agreement to say, "All right, guys, no mercy." It's happened like
I mean,
once.
honestly, that's fantastic for like everybody around, because Mercy is such a ridiculous character. Everybody agrees it's ridiculous, and it's, again, 100% pick rate in a professional setting, meaning that everybody agrees that she is to the point where you absolutely need her to play this game.
Yeah, but hopefully that new nerf coming in will somewhat tip the scales, or open up other people, other heroes to come in and shine a little bit more.
I've had my own ideas for fixing Mercy. I haven't really submitted them anywhere I should, but maybe. I just feel Resurrect's a little too strong for a first-person shooter.
Before I forget, let me update that title.
That juicy title. Gotta put the clickbait in there.
4,
No, man.
Gotta clickbait people.
One.
But it's gonna start off here, and as per the gentleman's agreement, so far we are not seeing a Mercy. Wonderful, wonderful news. Both teams are gonna be boasting a Genji and an Ana, though. And first one down is one of the said Genjis on the side of Wet Lemons. First one down is 200 MG are going to take the more solid stance on the point. Unlocks very soon. Adam, the only one left on the point, gets knocked out of his suit as D.Va, as the rest of Wet Lemons backs off.
Yeah, that early pick onto Millie was a pretty good one for 200 MG here, who have playing against their rivals here. Wet Lemon's usually the #1 team, but you gotta watch out for Rift Bolt now. He is a very good tracer, typically always coming in the super clutch moments, grabbing 2, 3, sometimes even 4 picks here. As long as they can maybe control a bit of area and get away those flankers, you can do just fine.
Yeah, the nano boost already getting popped onto Alien Tree. The Winston looking to cleave, but he's not going in on this squishy target, so he's not really getting all too much value out of the nano boost. The Primal Rage is popped by both Winstons. A lot of ultimates coming out of here. Most of them mirrored, as still 200 MG are kind of handling this point very well.
And you see that just constant area healing, keeping both teams on the upper section of their health pools here, but not before the real burst damage starts to pop out. Nano boost, pulse bombs, all these things, as they're going to chase back Wet Lemons to their spawn, maybe get a few others. But Adam going over to some Zarya here. They had choice. I mean, you have to get through some shields eventually from DM Rogue, but just burst through that D.Va, man. Defensive Matrix ain't gonna save you there.
It's a very late switch on to Zarya, because the point's gonna move up to 80, and if they don't capture it, Zarya's not gonna have her ultimate in time to do anything. Already low. Alien Tree's the first one down, and it's not looking good for Wet Lemon.
I mean, we're already seeing the effects of No Mercy here, as like once that first pick goes, you see just a boulder just go on to the team that loses that man. And already, that's slight equalization really. Reaper getting 3 pieces here, and wow, look at that. They finally take that with full strength. Adam, high energy as usual.
Yeah, the flip at 99%. Adam is getting close to an ultimate, should have an ultimate before Goodbye even has a chance to capture the point, getting that damage out there, and it's going to be a bit devastating, as they should have the follow-up to get the kills they need on the Graviton.
Mobus going down to almost no health. Obviously, throw that mech out, self-destruct, grab it back, but not before Millie Rift Bolt, after changing some heroes, going out and just wrecking house. They are just commandingly getting through these kills here, and man, I'm feeling just refreshed, revitalized, as there's just no resurrection, as it's a death permanent.
My ultimate is ready.
Playing a new type of a game mode, almost a new game entirely, as no team has that mercy to resurrect and correct their mistakes. And Millie with the nano boosted Death Blossom, able to take out four
Jeez.
of the 200 MG. We're going back to season 3, boys.
Blade, baby. I just can't believe no one saw him stand there. There were 4 or 5 members sitting up on that upper ledge, and they just didn't turn right or look behind them, as he just kind of stood there, wait for that nano boost and just spin to win.
Get in there.
You see Adam doing the same thing here with Graviton.
200 MG now sitting on point. DM Rogue trying to attract the rest of the team as 4 of them come around the corner, giving his team a little bit of breathing space, but it's not enough. Point is ticking up 95% now, and 200 MG have to get on this point if they're going to try to win this map. The Graviton finally comes out, the anti-grenade comes in, and another ultimate from Millie just secures their hold on this point. Moxie tries to come out, is able to get 2 picks, but it's not enough. Both the supports down, but there's no follow-up to kill the rest of the team. And the first point is going to go to Wet Lemons.
Boy, strong stars from both teams there. And we're already seeing all these different combos coming out since we don't have Mercies anymore. I mean, obviously Graviton pairs well with most ults, really. But really, if you get an Ana Biotic Grenade in that center, oof, boy, you deny all that healing, and your team can just take all those bodies, just wipe the floor with it if you have the follow-up. So we're already seeing a few hero switches here. Still no Mercy. Gentlemen agreement, they shook on it digitally. They're gonna keep true to their words here.
What a digital world we live in. Both teams coming out. It is control point on Lijiang Tower. We see Bailey Ninja switching over to a Moira, but it is still a dive comp, so I'm not quite sure how well this Moira is gonna work. And it has to eat through the shield before getting back to the team. Already out of suit, Mobis. As Winston jumps onto the high ground and is able to pick up Kenshi. Fights and picks are going to both sides, but it seems like the advantage is in favor of 200 MG.
And Adam falling there had mega high energy. I wonder what his average energy is. I wish I had the readout at Owlcasters too, but regardless, I see DM Rogue actually, who's been on Roadhog and some tanks for most of this tournament here, now onto some soldier action. So going back to a kind of a 2-2-2, but obviously with the new Moira hero, which adds a whole new depth as you just throw so much healing into a big body of people and you get coalescence just like that, as Bailey Ninja is about to have.
Yeah, the next fight moves on. We do have Moxie in the background just firing some flak into the enemy team, keeping them panicked. So their life coalescence goes out. Not able to keep Mobis in suit. Wet Lemon's getting a few kills, but the point is still in favor of 200 MG.
Attack visor from DN Rogue, who's been on the bottom. He will fall down right there, and finally a turn of points here. Just getting above the 50 mark. Well, I guess they're going to try and get as much percentage out as they can, which is never a bad idea if you're this far up. Actually going into Rift Bolt, Deadeye, Turtle Banter has no fear as he kind of ejects himself out the window, and he'll be splatting on that hard concrete.
Turtle Banter with the Winston ultimate. His jumps were a little wild and not necessarily aimed at getting anything, but he did manage to keep the point a bit longer than they would have normally. Ultimate comes out and it's immediately countered by a Transcendence. Nobody's gonna die in there. A lot of ults dedicated to that ultimate there. But Rift Bolt sitting behind is able to get 2, and despite their failed ultimates, Wet Lemons are gonna get all of the kills.
Yeah, Rift Bolt coming through clean with a lot of kills here. They're going to be sitting really far up, but you don't have a Junkrat to kind of spam here, so they may not be able to be up this far that often. But we've seen Millie. He used his his Death Blossom, there's the word, but not to any effect, and he's been chasing tanks around this whole time here. He'll grab a few.
On point, we see a Reaper versus a Tracer. Gets backed up by Kemchi, so isn't able to get anything out of that, but is on the point, applying that pressure. Fails the Pulse Bomb and dives to Kenshi, but the rest of the team is there in order to help get picks. The self-destruct isn't able to get anybody. It's sent after the Winston. He has that very nifty shield to keep himself safe. Rift Bolt with the Deadeye is able to take down 2. And both Tranquilities come out, keeping both teams. Gonna keep this fight just pretty solid. Earth Shatter manages to get absolutely nothing in that fight. Another Graviton coming out from Adam, able to get 1, but the rest of his team is gonna just be able to follow up on that. Moving up to 99% overtime is triggered. But it's only gonna tick down as Moxie was the only one there, and it's Pharah. You have to stay high, otherwise you die. And they're gonna get this point, winning them the map.
Not bad at all. Coming in hot off their victory as well from over Frost Wolves, I believe.
Play of the game.
In round 2, they're out to get another victory in the DaB. Of course, need to start off with a win, but yeah, of course, there it is. The Beyblade, the hidden Beyblade. Jumping and spinning for victory. Turtle Banter, the last to die from like the last little stray boat bullet. But boy, no mercies. We get some good gameplay. As
people stopped looking to their left. They're right around corners. Right. They don't need to in this meta. They have a Mercy who can just res them, and Reaper's not really in the meta either. So you don't really. It's been a few months since people have had to look out for people hiding on the sidelines. That played into his favor right there.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to pull it off again as we're heading over to Escort time. So back to the good old Dorado Route 66 Gibraltar options. And for the first time tonight, we see on stream a Route 66 choice. Sitting on top of Big Earls. See if they'll have any interesting strats. Maybe they'll continue the No Mercy. Maybe they'll pull out a good old Somber on the defense or offense. It can honestly work either way.
Yeah, things are tied up 1-1 in this best of 5. We're moving on to a payload map. Hopefully see who comes out ahead.
Yeah, it looks like we got Lanebug subbing in now, the good old Mercy main. But now, what happens when they say potentially no Mercy? Putting in a Mercy main. They get a defense. Oh, they're already defending side. So we got Shanghai Dragon switching over to the LA Gladiators versus the Dallas Fuel. Gladiators just coming off of a hot 0-4 defeat of Outlaws, which they're now switching to. Who? Yes,
well,
thank you.
mean,
oh,
I was gonna say Fuel hasn't beat anyone, so they'd still be a nice advantage there.
I'm so happy right now.
Get the nice green wall on the side of Wet Lemons.
I know the Gladiators is shields up. I don't know what that Outlaws is.
It is. It's green wall.
Green wall. All right.
Not sure why. Has to deal with guns and outlaws, but that's their saying. That's what their all their Twitter hashtags are.
Is that a little like
green wall?
Is that a little too weird because Trump's trying to do the wall thing? We'll sidestep politics for the time being. We come in to the good old west side, Route 66. Outlaws versus the Gladiators. Or, call them by their real names, Wet Lemons versus 200 MG. Coming into our second section of our best of 5.
All right, moving on to what I normally call the very, very orange map. A lot of sediment here. You'd think after 2 years, that train wreck might be cleaned up.
Maybe no one just lives here anymore. It's just a payload that likes to go back and forth and just waits to get pushed. It's the only joy it gets in its life.
Well, they left a whole bunch of fresh deliveries in the later section. The train hasn't been cleaned up. Maybe it was radioactive material being transported, so they just abandoned it. Fallout style.
Yeah, Talon at it again. Overwatch lore. That's really all I know. It looks like they are staying true to the No Mercy, so this will be an exciting series. I hope. Lanebug going on to some Moira, and it looks like Bailey I'm fairly certain, I could check, is a
Hello.
Lucio main Caillou on the trusty Ana.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, gates are going to open, and both teams are running the Ana still, as well as Lucio on the side of no, that's 200 MG, and still Laney on Moira.
Of course, Adam waiting up top for those sneaky flankers, but he'll get pushed out of there as well. Rift Bolt there to assist a bit, but there's kind of a 5-on-2 over in that section, which leaves the backline open as Alien Tree is trying to chase down Caillou, who will fall.
Well, both teams are down 2, well now 3, down 3, but the spawn advantage goes to Wet Lemon. No, sorry, I am mixing the teams up.
200 MG on the attack.
Yeah, Cart's gonna be slowly grinding forward, but Millie trying to get a few picks here with the Reaper. Just trying to back him off, but he's got no meaty targets to push into. Turtle Banter pushing very deep. He's able to get 1 kill, which may be enough for his team to pick up on the rest.
Surprising, Alien Tree going on to Orisa, a very late choice, but they're going to try and hold these Auras with shields, but Millie, once again, my man, Death Blossom, it will just come straight in. So we're seeing all these different heroes shine. Overwatch, Blizzard, take note. This is what it could be if Mercy was not the end-all be-all.
The Death Blossoms are really shining here. Millie doing a lot of work. Maybe, really fighting for that MVP of the match that we don't do. But Adam pulling out the whole hog, forcing the other team back in, but Moxie coming with the rocket barrage, kind of trying to equal it out, isn't able to do it. Cart's gonna be moving forward though now. 200 MG.
They're gonna get it, I doubt. Yeah, no one's gonna be able to. Well, a Rift Bolt, he fell early in that fight, so DM Rogue's hook will just get him right again and shoot him in the face. So this will be a tough fight, as there's just a very bright Egyptian woman raining down hell from her rocket launcher. But they'll just walk right through that. And 4 minutes coming into the next section, as Adam is just trying to waddle his way while he takes a big fat bait. He'll make it out for the time being.
A very questionable use of the sound barrier there at the end. They were only fighting 2 supports. Supports they couldn't have really done that much to warrant a sound barrier being used to counter them. But what's done is done. Maybe he'll think about that later.
Be interesting because we have right now Millie switched over to Soldier, but he's fighting into Mobius's rectangle shield, who just right clicks. But oh boy. Go, kills coming in anyway. Well, Lemon.
Looks like they're gonna be taking the point right back. Wet Lemon's gonna stop the payload around halfway through the second objective. But ult advantage is going to be on the side of 200 MG. They do have the Pharah ultimate, as well as the Dragon mode.
Leading things off with the Coalescence, Ladybug will be hit and back, and Gray actually getting a Biotic Grenade kill onto a few. But they're just going to take out only like 2-3 limbs, but they'll be enough to press that attack back. And they stopped that payload initially on the previous fight in a great spot, because they can maintain high ground advantage as long as they can. Turtle Banter, my man, just getting pulled in and just shot right in the head from Millie. Oh boy. Angry face indeed, Turtle Banter. Angry face indeed.
Yeah, easily flipping the ultimate advantage over to the side of Wet Lemons. They now have a 2 offensive and a whole hog. But 200 MG taking a path less traveled and going around left side, but GM Rogue was just had to be different. Jumped on point and died to the team. Dragon Blade is only going to be able to pick up 1, as So they're not really in a good position as they've used their tactical buys. The point is going to be moving forward. Alien Tree and Rift Bolt there. DM Rogue back on point. Right now, 200 MG have the advantage. They're pushing on Ana, and they're going to be pushing on Rift Bolt now, who's the only one left just behind their team. Adam trying to hook Mobus closer. Isn't able to do anything, and all he gets for it is 2 of his teammates dead to the bomb.
Well, and they could have probably won that fight way earlier, but they didn't realize Gray was sitting up on the high ground healing for such a long time. Alien Tree was being surrounded for so many seconds, which may not sound long, but if you have like 3 members trying to attack an Orisa, and he's just not going down because Gray is just pumping heals over and over into him. But once they finally dove onto Gray, that was when that defensive hold finally broke here. Now coming into last with 2 minutes, so they got a few pushes here with DM Rogue into the deep waters.
Yeah, we see 200 MG diving pretty deep in there. Turtle Banter using the Primal Rage. It got slept halfway through it, but it's still going to be pressuring Wet Lemons fairly hard in there.
Oh man, Rift Bolt in the back. He's trying to do a lot of sneaky McCree stuff. He went 2 supports got slept while dead eyeing, so that is gone for him. Yeah, attack visor from Millie. Pushing people back.
Yeah, getting really aggressive with the attack visor, but isn't able to get anything out of it. The rest of 200 MG have backed up quite a bit well enough to completely avoid it. DM Rogue gets slept again, but immediately woken up. The sound barrier comes out, able to save Mobus from getting knocked out of suit, and the Dragon Blade and Nano Boost goes on to Turtle Banter. We don't see any kills come out for him, but he does get a lot of damage out on the tanks for his team to follow up on.
It's interesting that Moxie is still sticking with the Pharah, even though you're in such a more confined space coming into last. I mean, his team is kind of pushing forward again to the point, but Rift Bolt, once again, that sneaky McCree coming in the back, will grab Caillou, and he gets to escape back to, well, not relative safety as he does fall here, coming into the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, 200 MG's main healer is down, has to slowly waddle their way back. But Mobus gets 2 kills, and it's not looking like they're gonna need Captain Caillou. They're gonna have to fight all of Wet Lemons off this point. Cart is moving forward. There's a Moira waiting to just walk their way on the point. Goes down, but the rest of Wet Lemons is making their way on point to try to stall this out, as it is about to get knocked into overtime.
With a nano boost on the Millie, but no one anywhere has their ultimates on the side of Wet Lemons. They're just going to keep falling as the few Primal Rage, maybe Sound Barrier, a lot of other things may come out just to seal the deal here. But yeah, they're going to grab this point with no time remaining, but grab it nonetheless. Definitely not grabbing that easily. They fought pretty much every inch of the way.
Yeah, it was fairly non-stop eliminations on the side of 200 MG. It's just they were not getting it fast enough to counter Wet Lemons' spawn time. They couldn't get themselves a little more time. So now, as long as Wet Lemons finish out the map, they will have another chance.
Yeah, and well, wondering if anyone will be switching off now that they can kind of reset, grab a breath. But if Moxie's sticking on that Pharah, you're going to have Caillou will be diverting a lot of his attention to probably healing him in midair, which leaves Bailey Ninja to probably take a lot of the healing reins for a short amount of time at least. You know, pros and cons for choosing your heroes. Obviously no mercy, but Ladybug sticking with the Moira props, which wouldn't be bad if they stick on top of Big Earls.
Yeah, it's a wonderful meta. I wouldn't say meta, just the wonderful games we're seeing here, minus the mercy.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
We are going to see Turtle Banter picking up on the Reaper that we usually see Millie on. To probably saw all of the ultimates he was getting, wanted in on that, so he's gonna try out his Death Blossom.
Probably.
For a
Maybe he.
change.
I mean, obviously melted through tanks, but he may be going in anticipation of being dove on by 200 MG here, because if he can bait people in, well, he's not with his team at the moment, but he'll be getting there. Once people dive in, it's his kind of his game. Throw that shotgun right in the face.
Yeah, and there's the dive coming in. Turtle Banter tries to intercept, but immediately Alien Tree backed off. What didn't even dive all the way in, all he heard was the jump. Moxie looking to get a pick on Rift Bolt. There it is, the hook onto Rift Bolt, but it's not able to follow up with a kill. DM Rogue, they're really worrying about that Tracer. We have a Roadhog turned all the way around, isn't able to get the kill. Rift Bolt picking up a lot more than he should be. Cart isn't being moved, but 200 MG are getting kills. Oh,
What Lemon's gonna be pushing on forward here, but it was interesting choice. We saw the initial dive, but it was like Millie and Alien Tree like backed off. It's like they didn't judge the distance correctly or something. They hopped on the sign and backed right off, but that left Adam to just be pulled in and demeched for the time being. So if he start, they're gonna get the first point only after one fight, you know. But 5 minutes going through the second phase, so should be more than enough.
Wet Lemons have a huge advantage here in terms of ultimates. They're trying to get more. They're almost up to 6, but they just use self-destruct. It's not able to pick any kills off of its use. Adam getting very aggressive, is able to take down DM Rogue, and they're pushing 200 MG very, very far back, because the payload has got a lot of free room to just move up.
They're gonna, you know, all those big bodies are pushing small heroes into tiny spaces, and so they're gonna clean up, and that is gonna be a huge delay on spawns for 200 MG here. Alien Tree and Rift Bolt are gonna be at the front lines, just body blocking their way. Yeah, they're just gonna uncontested go right to that point. So 5.5 minutes into the last here, way more than 200 MG have, but well, with Rift Bolt falling, it's okay. They can take a quick breather once those doors clear them for entry. They'll start moving.
That was only 2 ultimates used for the entire second point. They're getting very close to having another 6 ultimates, although Adam does get knocked out of suit, so that's going to delay his ultimate building. Mobus with a few kills with his Diva Bomb.
Yeah,
they're going to finally stop the payload, though. Very beginning of third point.
And this next fight is probably going to be a gigantic, chaotic orb of just death and destruction, as we have 10 or 9 ultimates, well now to be 10, up on deck here.
We see Adam switch over to Zarya just to get the decisive ultimate to start building. Transcendence comes out from Gray, going to be the first defensive ultimate, and not the only, the first defense ultimate coming out. Cart's moving forward a bit, Adam getting a few kills, and Wet Lemons are in a very distinct advantage here, coming halfway through the third point.
Yeah, and not a pretty good trigger fingers from either side here. They kept a lot of their ultimates, only Wet Lemons using 1 or 2, Good MG using only 1. Here we go. Now we're getting into the meaty stuff.
DM Rogue with 2 kills on the squishy DPS of Wet Lemons. Finally, a little bit of a stoppage on the cart. Wet Lemons almost completely out of ultimates. They do have Rift Bolts. But on the other side, Moxie does have Rocket Barrage. The rest of Wet Lemons is going to be pushed back as they regroup for their next push.
And Moxie, once again, still sticking with Pharah in a place where typically Pharahs don't always shine in these enclosed sections of these maps, but hey, I guess if it works for you, you might as well stick with it, and the Rocket Barrage will be perhaps their saving grace here.
Oh, there it is, and we're waiting for the Rocket Barrage. Rocket Barrage doesn't quite go out. They save it. But the payload is still moving forward a tiny bit. It's grinding forward. Actually, we do have Millie in the back just trying to get away from the coalescence coming out from Captain Kai, who isn't able to do it. Rift Bolt dies, the last just sitting in the back, flanking as Wet Lemons has to regroup again.
You know, we saw Millie and Rift Bolt sitting, trying to dive in for those supports in the back, but the support of their other teammates on Twitter MG is just too much for the time being. Once again, coming in at just 2.5 minutes, we have five ultimates total on either both teams. So choose wisely here coming in. Dragon Blade to keep things off.
Already down Alien Tree on the side of Wet Lemons. Curtis moving forward despite their loss. It looks like so far Wet Lemons is taking the fight into the back line of the 200 MG, and while that's happening, they move the card forward a little bit. It's not necessarily a decisive victory, but it is slowly getting them there. They have 2 minutes left, and the fight is going to drag on a little longer than it should as more Wet Lemons come back from spawn.
In comes Turtle Banter's Pole Hog. He's trying to clear some space here, and boy, does he. Grabbing so many kills and assists from his teammates. They will clear the point once again here. And wow, I thought for a moment that Wet Lemons would have had that point because Rift Bolt got a very good pulse bomb onto Turtle Banter and Mobus, two the big health pool tanks there. Left only Squishies left, but it was just enough as 200 MG held out for the time being.
Yeah, and they're coming in for their next push. They do have a small ultimate advantage, but Rift Bolt gets taken out, so Adam won't be able to combo the Tracer Bomb with the Graviton, and a lot of kills are coming through on the side of 200 MG. They're going to continue to hold it, leaving Wet Lemons with only a minute to get it to the end of this point.
Yeah, they stunk in attack visor there to beat people back, and it was successful. And that was a quick engagement, which I guess goes in the favor of Wet Lemons because they can group back up, as that last fight was very scrappy as only Alien Tree was in there briefly with shields from Adam. But now they have that Graviton, and they have Rift Bolt's Pulse Bomb.
Yeah, a lot of the fight is going on the left side. It comes out, but there's no follow-up Pulse Bomb because Rift Bolt is dead.
And he fell early.
200 MG just taking aggressive hold on this point as they move forward. Time is going to be ticking down. Coalescence comes out. They're going to be moving forward hard as they do not want Wet Lemons to hold this point any longer than they need to. Millie getting on point a little early, trying to stall out as it ticks into overtime, leaving just Ladybug right now. He gets taken down. Rift Bolt tries to jump on point. He did switch to 7-6 for some reason. Ult comes out from Moxie just to knock Adam out of suit and kill him. We do see Gray coming in with the Transcendence, but he's the only one left, and it's a futile effort. Overtime ticks down, and the win goes to 200 MG.
Coming back with a little fire of their own, 200 MG even things up, coming to 1-1 here. Best of 5, so they will not go quietly into that night. Of course, Millie once again with the Death Blossom with a nice little headshot. Seeking out Foxy. Post hook as well. GG.
Now I believe it was called for a it was preemptively called for a break here. For everyone to just take a small break, either go get water, go take a restroom break. So
yeah, well, I mean, we'll stick around. Obviously, it should be no longer than a few minutes, but we'll stay here for the time being. throw out that next map pick, perhaps. Of course, good old fun time on 2CP.
A fantastic set of maps. You know, everybody likes Volskaya and Anubis and Horizon. Although I can't say I protest Horizon all too much.
I feel like I just don't play him enough to know what I like. But we never know.
Yeah, I definitely prefer Horizon. Gives you a lot more choices of what to play on the offensive side. Gives you a lot more choices of what to play even on the just playing DPS. But we see a switch to Dallas Fuel again. Everybody's changing their icons over and over. But still remember, Dallas Fuel is boasting a hot 1-5. So, not really a good choice.
Now we have Crumb Delina subbing in for Lanybug, who came in for just the one map. I would assume support for support. But now the map has been chosen. Horizon Lunar Colony, which is, of course, in the map pool for Overwatch League. We've seen a lot of it lately. Who knows if they'll pull the same strats off or not, but regardless, it'll be interesting.
Went on to Horizon Lunar Colony.
Waiting for that good already for 200 MG. There it is. Starting in 3 this time. There we go. Let's see what strats these teams can pull up this time. Maybe we got some Orisa Hog. Maybe we got Orisa Torb.
Will we see a Panic Mercy? Will someone go back on the deal? Will some fingers need to be cut? We'll find out in the next episode of Why Are We Playing 2CP? Oh.
Now, we've seen in Overwatch League a lot of Moira play for attackers, at least, because you just rush in as a big ball, so you're already getting that mass healing. Then you just stick yourselves in a corner and trying to fight your way in to the point. And we've seen Coalescence come up in, I think, like just over 30 seconds into the first fight. Then I forgot who it was, but some support got 2 Coalescence in like a total of like 70 seconds, which is insane to think about.
Attackers incoming in 30
Sounds like someone has been watching too much Stylosa.
Perhaps.
But we're not going to be seeing a Tor, but there is an Orisa. Moxie going to be jumping on the Junkrat that we usually see on this map. And they're probably going to be taking a hard defense on the point, maybe starting off a little left or a little to the right. Do see a few starting off up higher. The attackers are going to be coming out, and we do see a Zarya and a Hog combo, a triple tank, no, quadruple tank that is.
Oh man.
Looks like they are going for the meatball composition. The first hook comes out and takes down Moxie, but Alien Tree's already down. That's a lot of healing. Already dead. There goes the main component of the meatball. But it looks like they're going to be going for it anyway.
We've seen this strat from New York XL and many other teams, but the person you don't want to die is Alien Tree. That's your saving grace. But already this fight has been split up. Adam is having a bad time in the back. Alien Tree might try and go save some of his team as long as some extra kills can come in.
Pactalizer already coming out from DM Rogue. Alien Tree kind of just getting in there, getting behind him. Not once did DM Rogue turn around to take care of Alien Tree, and it bit him in the butt quite literally. On point, leaving just Moxie and Captain Caillou, but Captain Caillou gets taken out, and Moxie's gonna have to do something with those dual Hellfire shotguns. Isn't able to do enough, and the point is going to go to no. The fight is continuing. Mobus comes out. DM Rogue looking to keep coming back, and no. As I said, the point does go to Wet Lemons.
They've thought about it, trying to get Mobus in there, but just too much damage, even with that defensive ability that Winter has. But Mobus switching over some Reinhardt, probably trying to get up to high ground, but they're kind of all over the place right now, not in positions. And this is the time for Wet Lemons to shine. Riftbolt actually shining, or trying to get on Zarya action.
Getting right onto point, and a very early sound barrier being used means that 200 MG won't want to use their ultimate still after, and they do quite right now. It's a bit tied up. Gray getting back in suit, getting very, very low off the bat, but they are going to have the advantage on the point. They get one tick. Bailey comes in on Lucio, trying to hold it off. They're moving, getting close to second tick as they get that. Moving up to the third tick. Just getting right on point. Captain Caillou as Moxie and Mobus get on point. Gray gets taken out. The Death Blossom gets absolutely nothing, but he's able to get Alien Tree, and the fight might be turning back in the favor of 200 MG to try to hold this point.
Boy, Riftbolt is keeping people alive with those shields, being super high energy. And even after a good start, well, they're going to be falling here so close as they're going to be trickling in, but whole hogs may not be enough as just tanks versus the rest of the team, and they're going to pop it off. Bailey Ninja getting that little boop kill at the very end. 92% as a first push, and now they have to do it all over again and coming into a hopefully established defense. Break through 2CP wall.
Yeah. Riftbolt. The hammer down comes in. Bailey's already down. He has an ult, so if Bailey is able to come back, we will see sound barrier go down. But right now, fighting over the point, it's anyone's point right now. Gray does get Mobus out of suit and killed, but the real owner of this point has yet to be decided.
Boy, Gray, if he uses that self-destruct, if they get a few more percentage points, this would be the perfect time to use it. The shield's up, and they're gonna just go right away as they clear the board. Caillou, the last one, will fall, and that will be just enough for them to grab the point. That is a great combo. Of course, the quad tank going way back into the metas. And they're going to pull out here in the good old non-mercy series here. Best of 5. Ooh, feels good.
Just change the name of the DaB tournament to the No Mercy tournament, because I feel like that'll get a lot more views.
We can only hope.
Views. But yeah, it was a great combination. 4 tanks, not something that we've seen before in any of the metas across the seasons, but something we can see now that we have a healer that can heal through absolutely everybody and do it very, very well. Because there was Lucio before, but he was a pretty slow burn healer.
Oh yeah.
Now there's Moira. She heals a lot. She gets her ultimate. The ultimate does the exact same thing and damages the enemy at the same time. And that pretty much throwing the entire team at the enemy and hoping something happens.
Yeah, and it always happens to me where her damaging orbs will just be randomly bouncing. I got like maybe 50 health left and I just can't escape it for whatever reason. Maybe it's I'm bad, or maybe it's the orb is too good.
Comes around the corner, yells, "Here's Johnny," and over.
Nothing but darkness and death after that, but we're actually seeing both teams picking, for the moment, Widowmakers, which we've also been very popular in Overwatch League here. An Alien Tree will be providing that good old shield for Riftbolt to hide behind, as Well, once teams see each other's Widow, they'll have to be very careful in those really open spaces. Hopefully not get picked, because with no mercy, you're going to have to wait that time to run back and join the fight.
Yeah, they're taking a very high up objective. Riftbolt is on Widowmaker. You're going to see a lot of spam and a lot of sniping here. The two meta DPS, Widow and Junkrat. They're going to make their way around the side to the small health pack, but not sure what advantage they have here. They're going to go up top to see if they can get one, though. They jump over and try to get one of the supports that are lagging behind, aren't able to do it, and DM Rogue gets taken out.
Yeah, that early snipe onto Turtle Banter, who kind of jumped above the shield of DM Rogue to give them safe passage, kind of has had this trickle effect, and they're just not really doing a ton. They're sitting off point. They've cleared some space. Moxie is up there to feel free a bit, but they got some wall hacks coming on, and Riftbolt is sitting way behind enemy lines.
Turtle Banter and DM Rogue switch roles. Moxie gets taken down, and DM Rogue isn't even able to do anything with his new swap onto Tracer. I don't think even has gotten a shot into the enemy team before he's died.
And with Riftbolt down, he's going to be sticking a Widow for the time being, but there's only 5 players on point, but the other, let's see, 200 MG, there we go, are struggling to get together now. They got to push in as soon as they can here. 2 minutes left, and Caillou they're just falling down, tripping on
push in, they will not, with 2 of their members down before they even touch the point. Although, kills are still going side to side. There's a Widow up, but Wet Lemons are going to take the advantage that they initially got. Maybe there's an entire ult with the BM straight into the ground.
Finally, we got some good old-fashioned BM. Oof, feels good.
What BM hooks and kills Bailey and then blows the entire whole hog on his body.
Let's see if they'll come back for revenge here, as they're coming in on that left side once again, but they're running in with their some ultimates, but going to be running into a bit of a tire.
The tire comes out, and DM Rogue just isn't able to do anything on Tracer, one of the fastest building ultimates, and isn't able to get anything. But Moxie does a lot of work in favor of getting his team this point, giving DM Rogue maybe another chance to prove himself on Tracer. 4 deaths, has not built an ultimate yet. Unlucky.
He's been playing tank a lot throughout this series, but he's switching over to the DPS role, and I think they'll be sticking with it. And Riftbolt, while he didn't do much after the first couple fights on that first point, he'll be sticking with Widowmaker, as you can see, way in that corner. Has long sight lines. And Mobus gets hooked in, and that is a rough time for him.
Rough time, but at least he gets taken out immediately, allowing his team to wait less time for him to get back. Moxie just getting in there, trying to get some poke damage, get his ult built as quickly as possible. You see the hooks being thrown out, trying to find a nice and meaty target to hook. But no. Captain Caillou getting sniped way in the back there, sitting, I think that was the double doors, maybe trying to get a little sniper battle going on.
But in retaliation, Millie dropped down as well, so it's even 5v5, and Riftbolt jumped on jump pack kill from Turtle Banter. That's wonderful. But Adam coming in, once again, the whole hog to clear the point, and that's a fairly successful defense. Bailey Ninja, ooh, barely squeaking out there.
And already, Wet Lemons have the advantage of time on their hands, and the point hasn't even gotten a tick in favor of 200 MG.
And we see Caillou switching off Anna, actually, to go to Widowmaker, as Rogue will swap over to Anna. But so far it's paid off. Riftbolt down, and now's their time to push.
Yeah, Moxie building close to an ult. Bailey building close to sound barrier. Bomb goes on point, and Mobus is looking to kill Alien Tree, but Primal Rage comes out, and he's able to kill Millie before anything happens.
We have a Mobus v Gray fight as Baby Diva will fall. A little bit of a Bunny Blaster versus Gray for the time being, but off to the side of the point, nothing matters as Turtle Banter actually gets one last kill on the Rift Bolt. He's back on some Tracer action here. Actually, once again, still sticking with that Pharah, which we don't quite see for attackers here.
Moxie coming in. Hook going out onto Mobus, but it stopped before any damage can come through. Mobus is able to get a pick on Gray. A lot of kills coming from 200 MG, and it looks like they're going to finally be able to get their first tick on this point.
Wow, that is
hopefully, and that's
kill.
a very decisive kill. They're going to be able to get most of their third pick before Tracer comes in. Rift Bolt looking to stall it out as the rest of its team is spawning. Captain Caillou doing work, and the rest of the team isn't able to get on as they cap it at 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
That just shows what getting a team kill will do for the progression of that point. Getting like about 95% there, and that is real tough to come back from. So they grab it with about half the time, or double the time, I guess, that it took left on the clock there. But we'll see as we go into a third round. Not too uncommon, if I do say so myself, on 2CP. But maybe we go back to some Widow gameplay, or we go for that speedy meatball on the left side.
I do have to say, Horizon Lunar Colony I've seen go to like 6, and it's not even a rare occurrence. It happens all the time. We see it go to 4, we see it go to 6, and the very occasional 7, I think, is the highest number I've seen on this map.
Too much for me.
Well, those are some really, I can't really say they're long maps because they are working off of bank time a lot longer when the numbers are higher.
Oh, but in any case, we do see the Widows pop out again. Rift Bolt versus Caillou.
This is going to be our first Widow versus Widow, I believe, all night. The Wet Lemons taking up the high ground to start off. They don't have a Junkrat this time, so they don't have that spam to fire down on low ground.
Ooh.
They're very split up. Captain Caillou is able to get a pick on Gray. Turtle Banter onto Rift Bolt, and maybe these are the picks they need just by being one down. They're going to try to get in there and get those kills, but Mobus gets knocked out of suit, and that might spell the end of this push.
Well, I mean, even Caillou coming in near Hydroponics Lab, and he's just sitting right on top, and yeah, that is just enough damage laid down. Turtle Banter coming in with a great pick off onto Rift Bolt, who is all alone, and full health Winston into Widow is always pretty much go to Winston.
Despite being the first team with a man down, they're going to get that point anyway. And starting fresh onto the next push, Captain Caillou gets a pick. Rift Bolt is going to be switching over to Tracer in order to get back to that point. The Widow's not as useful. Tracer looking for that flanking maneuver onto Captain Caillou, gets taken out before he realizes he's getting shot at.
And we see Millie go off Reaper to Genji as well. So they're trying to go for the high mobility and get onto point as quick as possible. But so far, they're stabilizing. Bela Ninja is going to be last on point. Even Turtle Banter coming in, well, I guess to keep them there for a little bit longer. But they have 60 seconds left. But with them dying here, they're going to be waiting even longer and probably reducing themselves to just one push now.
A very questionable move, but by Turtle Banter, Rift Bolt coming in and pulsing Captain Caillou. Captain Caillou may want to think about switching off of that Widowmaker now. But finally, I think 200 MG are going to get a little bit of a reprieve to finally group up.
I mean, okay, he does switch. So they're going for Beefy, going for the tank. Moxie still once again on Farah. I want to keep bringing it up, but it's just odd in my mind. But Gray all alone in the back doing the heals.
Rift Bolt way in the back looking to get a pick far in the back. Both of them going in on Bailey, but the sound barrier comes out to protect himself and the rest of his team. That's gonna negate the Dragon Blade entirely. But the point is going to be the main place everyone's fighting at. Moxie coming out the Rocket Barrage, only able to pick up Adam, but that is a big pick on a meaty target. The rest of Wet Lemons are going to be getting a lot of picks, and it's going to really keep 200 MG from picking up the point. They're not even going to get a tick on the second point. It's going to end their attack phase on 3 points.
All right, so keeping them off at second point. Double the time for Wet Lemons. Can they make it happen? If they can try and push through after grabbing first, maybe they can barrel their way into second, but it might be tough here.
Yeah, we saw a lot of drawn out fights on the side of 200 MG. It worked out on the first point, but not so much on the second point. They had a lot of, they had two of their team members in there a bit too long, wasted about 45 seconds that they could have used for another push. But, you know, what has happened. They're going to have to try to form a full hold here, otherwise they're going to end up with a tie.
The dreaded tie. I hope not, but perhaps maybe a sneaky Sombra strat from Crumdelina here. Trying to rush to that bottom right Mega Health Pack, or maybe even over towards the Hydroponics Lab to get a few of those minis. But you never know, the EMP could come quick as long as the teams will pick up that health after they get damaged here.
It looks like they're going to be running around to the mini packs. Although the Sombra is going to be hacking the right side, they've got a very split decision here. Rift Bolt going to be the only person by the mini on the left side, just a little bit of the distraction play. Already, Sombra's showing to be getting the ultimate charge, as the rest of Wet Lemons are going to be pushing into it.
Rift Bolt trying to call some of them back by sneaking onto point. Crumdelina comes in for assistance. But even with Alien Tree down early, they're still trying to hold their ground. Crumdelina, about to get the EMP, has it. Now, if his team can follow in, he's probably going to rush in, call out for that EMP, looking for the big mass of people. Hits it.
EMP goes out, and the dives are happening. It's still a pretty toss-up, but Rift Bolt gets 2 with the Pulse Bomb, and that may be a decided fight right there, but the fight's going to still be going. DM Rogue looking to beat the absolute stuffing out of Millie. Him and Captain Caillou are the only ones left on point.
But they're kept alive for so long. Caillou was never targeted during that fight, as DM Rogue was just being buffed and healed the whole time. They could have gotten that so much quicker, saved about maybe 20 seconds. But they will grab it here. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Each team has a few ultimates to use. DM Rogue obviously just using his Earth Shatter here. So let's see where they hold. Only 1 tick needed for Wet Lemons to take this victory.
Yeah, at the very least, Wet Lemons have a tie on their hands, which that's not something you should be striving for, but it's a little bit of peace of mind. But right now, a very slow grinding push. The Roadhog is main. He has to deal with a Reaper who didn't really commit to trying to kill him. Alien Tree gets thrown up into the corner, is forced to use his Primal Rage to stay alive. Coming out, still Crumdelina playing the Sombra. A lot of brawling actions going on.
The sleep onto Moxie, he has Death Blossom, but he Wraith Forms away, but the EMP will stop the Coalescence, and you can't use Death Blossom in that EMP, my friend. But Rift Bolt falling, but here comes the tanks. They fall on the side of 200 MG, and this is call the banners for Wet Lemons to grab these. Oh, but the hook is going to get Adam.
Adam's able to pick up Adam as he's getting knocked out of suit. Moxie with the Death Blossom is going to get the kill, and they're going to be able to hold the point.
Wow, what a terrible happening of events, their self-destruct to push them into a conga line behind the pillar, and Moxie takes that to use his Death Blossom as they're trying to hide from that huge burst of damage. But they sink so many ultimates to that on either side, but with one push left, one good push from Wet Lemons. Can they do it?
60
Let's
seconds
see if Adam can
remaining.
place that self-destruct, or maybe DM Rogue will just get a fat Earth Shatter here.
Riftbolt being forced to back up. He's going to be low on blinks, so he won't be able to go in and hit the other team from behind all too easily. He's going to have to play a lot safer than he's normally. Bomb goes out and the fight erupts on point. No picks yet, but a lot of 200 MG getting knocked back. Riftbolt with a nice kill onto Turtle Banter.
They are trying to sustain as long as they can, but Moxie is being such a pain in their side, just chasing after all those tanks. And Baby Diva, Adam is trying his best to escape off to the side, doing a little ring around the rosy, but out comes Coalescence from Caillou to try and even things up. Overtime is just triple in here, as this is do or die time, or otherwise it's coming to a tie. Riftbolt sitting on top of Soldier.
Nothing decisive coming out from Wet Lemons, that's what they absolutely need. Just Moxie on point though, and it's gonna start ticking up. They do have to deal with another wave of 200 MG coming out, but it is getting close. Self-destruct goes up. They have to step off point for a bit. Nobody dies to it, and they're gonna be able to capture the point, giving them another point on the board.
Oh, a hard-fought map for sure, going the distance. It's just that self-destruct, man. It zones so well, especially when you only need one tick. That is the prime time to use it. Oh, even the emote. Good on ya. Even getting tickled in the back from a little Moira.
The next one is going to be our tiebreaker map.
All right, so going on to hybrid here, which is the first time we've seen it tonight. Awesome.
A lot of brawling on Horizon Lunar Colony. We did see quite a bit of, I guess, sort of upsetting fights. From 200 MG, they went in even though they were down 1, even though they were down 2, and still managed a victory. Victorious fight, managed to capture the point out of it. They did have to deal with a lot of runoff spawns from Wet Lemons, but Wet Lemons with the more decisive kills on their push.
You saw a lot of double-sided attacks with Riftbolt going off to the sides while the mass of Wet Lemons will push on the other into the point. And I guess that's what they need to do. Just keep going with those, rather than rushing in as a big group tactic, you send a few off into the flanks, see what happens.
Flipping over to the Florida Mayhem.
Good old McDonald's. Going at it. 1 in 5 as well. Smallest roster for Watch League. With only 6.
The Mickey D's. The only reason I know about them is because of Defran. Only reason.
Flipping burgers. Wet Lemons ready. Streamer ready. 200 MG ready. We're ready to our potential last map here in this best of 5. Going into an odd choice, Numbani, which isn't super favorable, I guess. It's a little tough to play, but they're going with it.
They're very angry at your counting choice.
You gotta keep them on your toes,
Yeah.
Oh, Numbani. With the no longer smashed payload of the Doom Fists, obviously in the game now. Back to a regular old container. Property of Numbani Heritage Museum.
Have you also noticed they've changed all of the posters? Too?
Yeah, the history
No
of Numbani.
longer, no longer Doomfist. The Lucio poster is now Meet Effie.
Mm-hmm. Man, they're pushing that lore hard.
Mm-hmm. Although the big question is, what are we now pushing in the payload? Because it just says property of Numbani Heritage Museum, and you can't see through it. Is there a real reason we're pushing this?
Yeah, what are we trying to deliver?
Nothing. It's a metal canister full of air. We're pushing
Placebo.
helium.
Giant placebo. Is that a Sombra I see? Oh, by the way, still sticking with the non-mercy. I don't know if you guys have noticed out there, but ooh, feels good.
Some spicy non-mercy games here. Quality.
Defend objective A.
Yeah, they are going to be sticking with this Sombra. Wet Lemons looking to get that EMP out. It worked well for them last time. Let's see how well it works for them this time. Very quick dive. Alien Tree hits the top and immediately drops back down. Didn't lose health at all. Just decided to not engage on that one. The rest of the team is slowly getting taken down, so I guess it's a good idea to back up now. Adam gets knocked out of suit. Let's see what he does with that. The fight is going to be pushing pretty hard. Sombra on the objective to see if he can drag the team back away from the rest of Wet Lemons to maybe save them a little bit of pain.
Yeah. In the meantime, way in the back, Riftbolt was trying to hide or go out for some supports, but Caillou had other plans. So you got to watch out for that right click and hold from Zenyatta's, man. They just blast those orbs right into your face, and he got a bunch of little dinky headshots.
Dink, dink, what a satisfying noise. Alien Tree trying to get the trying to get Turtle Banter, but isn't able to do enough damage. Jumps back up. Is met by DM Rogue, has to drop back down. He's doing a lot of that. It's taken out anyway. That isn't gonna look like Wet Lemon's gonna continue on this fight. The same instance as last time. They're slowly getting pushed back by a aggressive Moxie.
Yeah, and Moxie been sitting up high with self-destruct for the meantime, going out. Not gonna grab anyone. But right now, Millie, who was on Genji, switched over from the tree a bit ago. Riftbolt. I think I thought he was trying to go into the wall or into the room, but got stuck on the wall there. So we got some hit scan back to the point from Wet Lemons trying to take down Moxie high up in the air. EMP perhaps coming up.
EMP going out. Self-destruct immediately afterwards. Isn't going to pick anybody else up, but the fight's going to continue. Mobus gets a kill, and still Wet Lemon's at a huge disadvantage, both ult-wise and pick-wise. Is going down to 1:30.
Riftbolt will condemn his soul off to the treetops. He'll get picked out by some monkeys or something. But man, they're having a tough time breaking into this first point. I think Numbani is probably one of the harder hybrid maps to get into the first point and capture it. So they're gonna go through it again. They have a few ultimates to hit onto. Adam going over to Zarya, trying to build up a quick Graviton Surge.
Yeah, they're trying for an immediate high ground pretty quickly. Turtle gets slept out of his ultimate, and that's not going to be doing anything. Millie looks to get a Deadeye, but it's absorbed. And they're finally on point, looking to get a kill. Another self-destruct coming out from Mobus. It's a kill on the Alien Tree.
But Gray once again getting the sleep onto Mobus. That's the two great sleeps in a row here. They've opened up a lot of space to get and move around. Adam already up to 60, 70%. It's just so high energy all the time. And he just switched to Zarya. He may be almost fell, but right now Gray is doing a great job keeping him alive for the time being, and then he's dead.
It's the final 10 seconds, and Wet Lemons are going to need to get on this point as soon as possible. Mobus and Bailey, well, there's very few left of 200 MG, and they're slowly getting taken out. Overtime ticking down. Riftbolt tries to get on, but he's not able to do it. That's a full hold on the first point of Noombani.
Super difficult sometimes, man. But now,
0. Switching sides.
200 MG, this is their time to take what could be theirs to even the series back up. They just need that first tick. So now, are they going to do hard and fast dive comp, or are they just kind of try and slow roll their way to victory? But it looks like they're sticking to what they've been playing here. It worked on the defensive side. Maybe it can work on the offensive push as well. Dive up to supports on the high ground, have Moxie coming down from above, then of course maybe some heals from the way back.
Yeah, and I believe if they are able to tie this up, does that take us to another map?
It would, and if we need it to go to a 5th map, we come up to Control.
Oh boy, very, very decisive. I like it. Not 2 CP.
Yeah, exactly. No possibility of a tie.
I mean, it can happen on hybrid, like it has a high chance of happening here, but the hybrid's
Attackers incoming.
a lot
in
more
30 seconds.
palatable.
Well, Riftbolt going and opting for a Soldier 76 away from his usual Tracer, and Millie, trusty Reaper. Maybe we'll get some super sneaky Death Blossoms again. Maybe we'll even see a Beyblade pop up.
5,
But you never know. As long as maybe we get some uncontested heals or DPS from the high ground.
Attackers incoming.
But it all depends on where 200 MG chooses to go into as they push in to
200 MG looking to take the high ground off the bat. Moxie going around, getting some long-range rockets out. Millie takes notice and looks to get a shotgun on her, but he is Reaper against the Pharah. Out of suit, Mobus now looking to get a pistol kill or two. Heading on the spearhead of this fight, jump. Just get those shots out. GM Rogue gets taken out by Riftbolt in the back. But now 200 MG getting a lot of picks here, and it looks like they're going to be winning this fight and taking the point. It gets very close. Crumballuna gets on point last second, but the point is going to go in 200 MG's favor, and they're going to win the map fairly quickly.
Yeah, we saw a bit of a spread defense. It's not too uncommon for people to be spread out across the high ground for Wet Lemons, but it was just you had everyone dive in on the more vulnerable group, and then you pull down what you need to. There you go. Coming into 2-2. Back to some control as we started it all out. I'm excited to see what happens. Going the full gamut. Yeah.
Oof. Going all the way.
Epic.
Excellent.
But
is its own
sadly, very, very poor performance for Wet Lemons on that. They could not quite get their attack, and they didn't hold for long at all on the defense. So hopefully coming on to this next map, they're going to be able to show up a little bit more.
Trying to remember what control map we played. First map. Okay. I guess they do get all. I'm pretty sure they get all choices anyway.
No, I think they do take out the multiple. Is it just 1 point to win? Similar to how Korean Overwatch did it.
It's still a best of 5, so this is still in the series. It's not. Well, it is a tiebreaker, I guess, but. If
Well, I
you,
mean,
like,
is it 1 point? Because that is a...
the score to win is still 2. Okay, so it's Nepal. Only if I could spell Ilios.
Ilios.
Ooh, Nepal, which we have not seen. All
Calm,
right.
peaceful, definitely not battle-torn map. Let's go.
Ooh, they're doing New York XL versus Seoul Dynasty. Arguably two of the top teams in Overwatch League. Both 5-1 currently, sitting at the top of their divisions.
Both pretty well off.
New York XL, mostly Team Korea from the World Cup. All right, 200 MG ready.
Everybody ready.
Was there a wet lemons ready somewhere in there? Yeah, I think so. All right.
There it is.
I'll even count it out for them. And before I get banned for spamming.
That's not how that works. It's on the fourth message. Trust me. Through extensive testing, I figured that out. Oh boy. It's there's a pit on this one. And immediately I see a Lucio pick. Oh yes. They know how to satisfy us.
My thirst is back. I'm ready. And I haven't seen Nepal in quite some time, so I'm kind of excited to see how these teams play it. We used to see a lot of Junkrat, especially on this map. Sanctum, maybe it's called. Who knows? Probably everyone but me. But you see Junkrats holding the one door up front while the rest of the team is sitting on the opposite side of that choke, while they have control of the point, obviously. But let's see how this happens in good old non-Mercy Grand Final of the DaB.
I like to think of the Zenyatta, well, the other statues, the monk statues floating there, as looking down disapprovingly on all the fighting happening.
No. True.
They're all just disappointed. They're this place of peace. They've brought guns. Although Zenyatta does use prayer balls to beat his enemies into submission, so...
I was right. It is Sanctum. Hooray. Thank you.
There you go. Mobus almost getting hooked off the edge, but his hook not quite accurate enough. As the fight is, it looks like it's going to be won pretty quickly by 200 MG.
Yeah, they're going to take that with just a kick or two. Riftbolt tried to go real deep into some backline 200 MG, but it won't take long for Wet Lemons to try and regather their strength, and they're going to push right on here. They got to watch out for any Lucio. Bailey Ninja looking, he needs it. He wants it. The hook from Adams down.
Yeah, we see Alien Tree jumping straight in. He gets very low. He's got not enough healing as he goes down first. And Adam, middle of the point, the other tank gets taken out. Rocket Barrage comes out, takes out Kimchi and Great. And it's going to be fairly decisive. They did drop 2, but it's not enough to stop them from holding the point.
Yeah, and Moxie going into martyrdom essentially with after that Rocket Barrage. Now, we haven't seen a ton of control on Moxie, who's been constantly picking Pharah here. I mean, they are picking hit scan heroes, but they're not super focusing down Moxie, it seems, for the time being.
Yeah, another fight comes and starts up, beginning the point. Turtle Banter is slut. He has his ult, hasn't used it yet. Probably going to be looking to use it after the self-destruct. Knock somebody off here, but still, there it is, coming out. Turtle Banter immediately gets Rift Bolt. The Tracer going down, looking to get Gray. but the sound barrier is going to keep him from doing too much damage. Moxie on point now. The point is ticking up to 80% already.
There goes Adam losing all that charge. Into the pit he goes. Thank you very much for that push, DM Rogue. And man,
200 MG.
boy,
with
too
a
bad. That fight may have gone out in a little bit longer, but Kemchi was actually booped into the pit, and he had to surf his way out and back into the point without that valuable healing on his teammates.
It is already overtime, 99%, and the first pick is going to be picked up by Millie. Maybe they can finally take this point for their own, but it's not looking too good right now.
Right now, Moxie is being aimed down here. That's got Alien Tree and, of course, Millie going for it as well. But Sound Barrier from Bailey Ninja to keep this point going. If the dash resets will be just enough. And Wet Lemons, once again, having not a super stellar start, but maybe it's just 200 MG playing really well.
Maybe, but we are now 1-0, and this is the final chance that Wet Lemons have to get a victory in this tournament.
Hold on, let me consult Google.
Finding out the name of the map. Yeah,
Shrine.
again.
Okay. I thought it in my mind. I was right. Coming into
Sanctum, Shrine, and Village. If if Wet Lemons win this, the next one will be Village.
Round 2. Capture the objective.
But starting off, we don't really have any changes to either team comp, as both comps are really getting there. Wet Lemon's going to be getting there a little bit ahead of the other team. Not quite enough to get a distinctive advantage. Rift Bolt harassing Mobus, getting chased down by Moxie. Adam trying to get on Mobus to distract him enough to get him off of his tracer. Mobus getting knocked out of his suit. And the rest of 200 MG getting a lot of picks, and it seems like this fight is starting off similarly to the one in Sanctum.
200 MG, the boys in blue, grabbing that first point, getting on their way to Ultimate City. Because everyone else, Wet Lemons, are kind of lagging behind. Adam, though, already up to 70% in Graviton. They're looking for some good combos here eventually, or maybe just a lot of damage focused in if they can lay that down soon here.
Mobus getting slept, isn't slept long enough to get dove on. Moxie just sitting high and not really getting contested, is able to knock his only counter off the edge. The rest of his team getting kills, and Tranquility coming out for some reason. Not quite sure why. Did save one person, but I don't know if that was important enough to use a pretty strong ult there.
Probably not, but, you know, well, they don't quite know at the moment. Billy's switching over to Genji, so they're not going to have to worry about some ultimates for a bit. But the thing is, Adam has his Graviton Surge, and boy, you're going to wish you had that Transcendence when you're all sucked into that void. As they're rushing in, most likely going to use it, waiting for Mobus to look away.
Pretty quickly. And the Dragon Blade comes out from Turtle, able to pick up Rift Bolt through the sound barrier. Graviton did come out, but they weren't able to get anything off of it. This leaves Wet Lemons in a very rough position because the timer is clicking up to 80%. They've only got about 20 seconds now to take this point back, and they do not have the ultimate advantage.
Yeah, they're coming in. This will be the last push. Gray, he'll have to nano boost someone. Gotta choose smart here. And they are gonna probably put it on to Adam here. Mass health, but Rift Bolt already falling.
There it is. Adam has the nano boost coming in, trying to get some picks, but he's getting pushed back a lot. Isn't able to get as much value out of the ultimate as he can. He's able to take out Captain Caillou. Picks are coming through in favor of Wet Lemons, but it may not be enough. The point is in overtime, leaving just Turtle on point. Finally gets taken out, and they're going to be able to capture the point at 99%. Now they cannot lose a fight.
Millie coming in huge with that Dragon Blade, picking up 3 and more from his team. and just turning the tide of that battle, but they sunk in a lot to take that back, and of course, you have to hold this. Hold it strong, put up that wall, and hope that you can keep your metal there. It will be tested.
Seems
coming
like
in.
for some reason only half of 200 MG is made their way around the right side. They weren't punished for it, so I mean, good on them. Transcendence comes out, keeps the team very, very healthy, but they lose Turtle Panther. He's at 90% of his ultimate. The rest of 200 MG are getting a lot of picks. Kimchi and Alien Tree, the only two left. Coming in with an ultimate. Primal Rage to get himself back to point. Adam just trying to keep the point in his favor as the rest of his team tries to come back. He's got a Genji and a Tracer on their way. Turtle Banter able to take out Millie pretty quickly. Gray and Alien Tree coming back, and they're just trying to stall the point out now.
Moxie trying to put the nail in the coffin, and they are just sinking ultimates into this, and they are just burning them away. They're going to capture that point overtime, but now we're coming into more stall. Adam getting booped away just barely here, but Mobis is just doing a mountain of work right now, but not before Total Banter is coming in with vengeance. And my, they dethrone the victors. 200 MG will finally get that coveted first place spots. Congratulations, you win nothing.
It's almost like they were playing differently for the last two matches.